So that which basically means all the infants are in this tiny little room and I get to play with them. And for some reason, like, every single music toy I had was broken. So I basically spent most of my shift yesterday singing Reindeer Are Better Than People because it was stuck in my head and I couldn't think of anything else to sing. The weirdest part being was when a 5-month-old started humming along with me. I've never heard a 5-month-old hum, but they know the notes very well. That is my weird story of the week.
I was expecting a lot more on this one. I mean, last time we got to talk about poopy diaper toys and shit like that, and no pun intended. That one wasn't as fun, Naki.
Is it intended?
I'm going to give that like a 6 out of 10 on the Naki's work story scale.
I mean, it's been a slow week. I'm not even going to lie. One day I only had 7 kids in 8 hours.
7 kids in 8 hours. Call Guinness. Hey, sorry, that was bad.
That was pretty bad for you, Chris. Come on.
I'm not awake yet, guys. I'm sorry.
Up your game here.
Up my game? Well, in order to up my game, I'm gonna push it all over to Naki then, so I can prepare for next week then.
That's gonna be the entire. That's gonna be the entire show's.
So why don't you welcome everyone to the show, Naki?
Hi.
Welcome to brought to you by.
Today's special guest host is Tina Belcher, ladies and gentlemen.
We get more and more professional each week, don't we?
I'm glad you guys are really pulling out all the stops for my triumphant return.
We are. For those that are paying attention, this is the triumphant return. I now believe the, once again, record holder for most guest hosting appearances since we made Anthony a regular host.
Probably.
Ryan Newmark, a.k.a. Were we calling you Odin?
We were.
Yeah, he was Odin.
The all-father of ATGN has returned.
Yeah, see, I'd still much rather be Thor, especially because now in the Marvel Comics, Odin's dead.
Now
Thor's
let's go
the
live to
All-Father.
Naki for a comment of, This
I
is
guess
been
now
live with Naki.
Oh God! My dog's attacking me.
That was the main
Picture having a
of her
stroke.
dog, is what we haven't realized here. So, congrats.
He thinks you're having a stroke because you're making that noise.
And now Naki is being mounted by her dog, I bet.
No,
Oh, I hope not.
he has never mounted me. Thank you very much.
It's his mating call. He can't help it.
To be fair, Naki, what does that say about you?
Ooh. Oh, bad face.
Now I'm sad.
On that note, welcome everyone to episode 114 of the All Things Good Nerdy podcast.
I'm never making Ryan bacon cookies again. That's what's happening.
This was recorded.
Ooh.
Making cookies.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Making bacon cookies? Making bacon cookies?
That's where that tweet came from.
Now
I
I'm
had-
all upset.
I had at my birthday party, I'm prepared to be more upset, because I had at my birthday party yesterday bacon cookies, bacon ice cream, and bacon dip.
Mmm,
Yeah.
bacon.
And not
Good with 2 out of 3 of those.
You don't get to feel upset about a crass joke that I made, because you had literally an entire room of people telling you to take your top off at my party.
Nice. And what is it with people getting all sensitive and shit? I said a joke on Facebook the other day, and one of our family friends got all fucking in a twist about it. I actually sent out a tweet to everybody. It's like, just a reminder, if you get offended, it's your fault. Get a fucking helmet. Like, it's just sad. Like, if you say anything to anybody these days, everything is offensive. It's like, man, fuck you.
People are hair triggered to get pissed off about the stupidest stuff in the world.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is nowadays. It's upsetting
It
to me.
fucking bugs me. Makes me want to cut a bitch.
Oh, we got a cut a bitch reference. That's the first time in a while. Man. That takes me back down memory lane like episode 1
Yeah.
of this show, not of that crappy Star Wars prequel that Queen loves for some reason. Don't forget,
Isn't that what Obi-Wan Kenobi told fucking Darth Maul? Once this goddamn field drops, I'm gonna cut a bitch!
just because I have to do it, don't forget you guys can send hate mail to nightwing@gonnageek.com for saying that Episode 1 is better than Return of the Jedi. Nightwing@gonnageek.com. Send your hate mail there.
He does deserve that hate mail. Yes, he does.
Anytime I can stir the pot, that's a good thing. But
yeah, I'm with Naki on that one.
This is going to be the greatest show ever, guys. Because
God, why? No, Max, help!
Okay, Naki's getting attacked now.
Get her! Attack!
Okay, so looking in the chat room, the draftsman has said Ryan is back and thus returns my quest to make him cry. I think the only way to do that will happen if all pigs go extinct and bacon is outlawed. That would make mankind sad.
Yeah, not just
Ryan.
Don't take it out on us.
Healthier, though.
Ryan.
Yeah, don't kill my bacon just because you want to make Ryan cry.
Let's be fair. If all pigs were to go extinct and bacon, became just non-existent, like, we as a people would probably get off our ass and accomplish something.
I would make a replicator out of Star Trek so I could still have bacon.
As I say, all we as a people would do is figure out how to turn another animal into bacon. We would start eating like hippopotamus or fucking panda or something that would bake up just like pig.
Panda's a bad idea because it's endangered.
Crispy.
I don't care. We would fucking find them, cook them, and eat them.
Well, but you guys just proved my point, though. Like, without bacon, we would actually get up off our asses and do something. Like,
that's
we would
blasphemy.
Find a replacement.
But you said it like we'd fucking figure out star travel. No, we just figure out a different way to make bacon.
No, I think Chris is right in the chat room. He said the world would be like Mad Max if that happens.
And bring on the
it would
remakes.
be like Chew.
But with pork products instead of gas.
If you all are not reading Chew yet, chicken is outlawed, and so it would be like Chew.
So
like
only outlaws have chicken.
I like chicken wings. I love chicken wings. Because Monday is 40-cent wing night.
Not in the world of Chew. Oh, Naki, did you see the Chew Revival crossover?
I heard that it was happening. I stopped reading Revival a while ago, and now I feel like I need to.
It was an awesome issue. Fucking Tony Chew and his cybernetic partner, who I can't remember his name, show up in the town in Wisconsin where Revival's happening. And they refer back to, these are the FDA guys that had, all that power when that whole chicken outbreak thing happened. So they basically put it in continuity that Revival takes place in the same world as Chew after the Chew stuff is basically done.
Well, shit.
It's fucking crazy. And it's a flip book to where one side is drawn by Rob Guillory as if it's a Chew issue, and on the other side it's drawn by Mike Norton as if it's a Revival issue. So you get to see Mike Norton draw the Chew characters, and you get to see Rob Guillory draw the characters from Revival. It's a fucking great flip book.
I was gonna say, like, I quit Revival probably around issue 13. And no, it was issue 15 because I was just like, this story's taking too long. Like, there was so many issues where I felt like there was nothing happened, like literally nothing happened, and I'm paying for it. And I'm like, no, I'll just wait for trades. And
it's a super in-depth story. I think Tim Seeley sat down and wrote out a Bible for this one before they started putting the book out.
I really liked it, but it was like I just decided I was going to switch to trades, and I just haven't picked up the trades yet.
I'm still upset you guys talked about chicken being outlawed. I can't get past that.
That might be the one reason you wouldn't like the book Chew then, because it's a world where chicken is outlawed, so only outlaws have chickens.
In the world of Chew, Chris would just be sitting alone in a room filled with bottles of barbecue and buffalo sauce.
It would be
going, why? Why?
It would be Kegler's Gold Wing sauce.
You've got just a garbage can full of various meats. You're just pouring a little bit of sauce on meat, and
it's not the same. No, it's not the same.
It's like just duck and turkey and like pheasant corpses all over your apartment. I
don't like this post-apocalyptic world you're describing here. I'm upset by it. I don't know how to respond. I'm gonna go have chicken wings today just to spite this world you've predicted.
There you go.
I think all of us have to.
I'm making
Coca-Cola
chicken today.
I'm not leaving the house, but I got chicken ready in the fridge.
See? So, your mission, everyone watching this show or listening to it later, as soon as you're done, go eat chicken so this terrible world does not come to be. We must have our chicken.
Can we, everyone, go eat chicken today and take pictures and tweet it at the creators of Chew? Can we make that a thing? That would be fantastic.
As a protest. We don't believe in your non-chicken world.
Your non-chicken world can go fuck itself.
I will say this entire conversation does have me interested in the series because now my brain's like, why would chicken be outlawed? And please don't ruin it for me. Let me go and read it.
But, I have the first two trades if you want to borrow it, Ryan.
I absolutely do.
According to Mike in the chat room, I might be okay. He says alligator meat can be a good substitute for chicken meat.
There we go.
So
now I want to see Chris wrestle an alligator.
Chris, just go ahead and go wrestle yourself down a gator.
I've had gator before,
but the real question is, can you make alligator bacon?
Ooh, probably not.
I've had black bear bacon. Black bear bacon made me feel very manly.
No shit.
Did you instantaneously grow a beard as soon as you consumed the bacon?
I did, and then it was so awkward.
Probably chest hair.
Because I was like, why? Why is this happening? I have a beard.
But this bacon is so good. So, kids, if Naki has a beard, you know she's consumed black bear bacon.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Bacon.
I suddenly look like a dwarf.
So, we should probably end our bacon/meat talk of the morning.
I kind of want to talk more meat and meat spin. What?
So, what I'm hearing is we're going to rebrand All Things Good and Nerdy to All Things Good and Meaty.
Yes.
All Things Good and Meat.
This will be the last episode of ATGN. Next week it's ATGM.
And the M goes,
Oh, we missed an opportunity, guys. That could have been the April Fool's 2015 cast.
It still can be if
I
anyone.
guess it still can be, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Can we just have ourselves like replaced by pictures of bacon then?
Yes, I think we should do that.
No, I think
Baconize ourselves.
I think everyone needs to grow a full beard and wear flannel shirts and just show up and just be eating meat the entire time. Everyone sits down with a rack of ribs and there's no talking. It's just chewing sounds and crunch
it's got to
of
be
approval.
actual meat. Ribs are bullshit.
No, I make the best ribs, Anthony. You can't say
Too much work
Bacon.
for not enough payoff.
Bacon is better.
I will show up with a bowl of bacon.
Bacon. I'm
Bachman,
going to talk like that the rest of the show.
What post-apocalyptic nightmare world are you living in where you can't get a decent rack of ribs?
Right. Like, I'm like sitting here
They
like,
taste fine. I refuse to do the work.
Anthony, I will make you ribs. If you come to Chicago, I will make you ribs.
What about me?
Fair enough.
All right, Chris, I'll make you ribs too. I'll just have a big-ass barbecue because I boil my ribs in apple juice for 2 hours, and then I slow roast them with a little bit of barbecue sauce. I don't even use that much, but it's like a
You're
tangy
making
barbecue.
Ryan's rule.
I'm making them today, Ryan. So if you want to come out, I'm just saying.
I'm trying to make the most disturbing yummy noises I can.
Mike in the chat room has also said, make me ribs, Naki.
I'll just have to have a big cookout because I'm making Coca-Cola chicken today too.
Is that like beer can chicken?
It's chicken that's marinated in Coca-Cola overnight and then slow smoked with spices.
Interesting. Why don't you save that for 4th of July weekend and do things then? Next
Because,
weekend's all cooking out.
well, we're having a cookout this weekend because everyone's out of town next weekend.
I see. That makes sense then.
It do indeed.
And by we, I mean my family, and I'm just, telling people to come over because I'm going to have a shit ton of food.
I'm getting on the road as soon as the show ends. I'll see you in 9 hours.
I think we have hot dogs, brats, and burgers too if you don't want any of my specialty made foods. Or my kebabs.
In the chat room, it has been suggested to one Big Papa that this should be rebranded as the Gonna Geek Meatcast. And Draftsman is informing me that to move on to other subjects, the Mexico-Netherlands game will be starting soon. So we will stand by for updates from Draftsman throughout the show to see the exciting
All right, now
world
I have to
of Mexico.
put this as my profile picture.
And just so
it's
Draftsman
soccer.
knows, soccer sucks.
Ooh. Ooh.
I'm not poor enough to care about soccer. I care about
Ooh.
sports that take skill.
Ouch. That flopping takes... No, I'm joking. Actually, I enjoy soccer every 4 years, just like every other American in the country.
Can't do it. It's like watching paint dry. It's a
No,
bunch
no,
of people
golf.
running back and forth.
Golf is like watching paint dry.
Golf isn't even a sport. So we'll go right there. I'll give you that soccer's a sport. It's like the worst sport, but it's an actual sport. It takes effort. Golf doesn't take fucking effort. Golf is a hobby.
Golf
Every
is
time
like playing fetch with yourself.
Every time I watch
Mhm.
soccer, all I can think is, man, this would be a lot better if the players were playing on ice instead of grass, and if they had like sticks that look like reaper scythes, and you can't run around on ice, so they probably have to put some sort of knives on their shoes in order to move around more effectively. And
To keep them on the ice, you wrap them in a wall that they can slam each other into.
Yeah, the field's just way too big. Let's bring it in. Let's make it more intimate so people can actually interact, so the players can actually have conversations. I want to see that game. If only that were a sport that I could watch, then I'd have a lot more fun.
That would be a type of soccer I would watch.
Yeah, hockey is the best form of soccer.
I love hockey. I love hockey.
Meh. I'm going to put an emphatic meh on it.
Meh.
You're an emphatic meh.
Meh.
Isn't it?
Chris
an
Hansen
emphatic,
said sports puck is the way to go.
is it
Sports
an
puck.
emphatic meh or an emphatic?
I can't steal that because that's Naki shtick, not mine.
Yeah.
So I'll let her
Actually,
have that.
I stole it from Tina Belcher of Bob's Burgers. So there.
Well, I was going to let you have it, but now that you've given it up,
I have.
sucks, dude.
Uh-oh, Naki's giving it up.
Hey, I got nothing.
No boob window for you.
Oh, come
What-
on.
What about
window.
boob hat?
Boob hat.
How about a boob hat over a boob window?
Would
Yeah,
you?
so for those of you guys watching, you might have realized it's been a slow news week, hence the reason we've had meat talk and World Cup talk.
It has
Slow
not
week of
been a
news.
slow news week. The best news ever came
Well,
out this week.
So why don't we
Sounds
toss
like
it
Ryan
to the
wants to go
birthday
first.
boy himself and let him regale us with his news of the week? That might be the biggest news of the week that we
So-
have out of him.
I heard this news and I immediately had to go and have someone pinch me because I have literally had this dream and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't still dreaming. But Kotaku, Variety, a bunch of places are reporting Guillermo del Toro released a video on YouTube. It was a special message about Pacific Rim. We're getting a sequel, bitches. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be an actual sequel, not a prequel, which a lot of people thought we were going to get. However, the comic book is going to continue where the year 0 left off. So we're going to have comics, and we're getting an animated series. So happy birthday, Ryan. Forever. Love
Damn
the BFF,
right.
Guillermo del Toro.
So excited. So
Oh.
Guillermo
excited.
del Toro.
So excited.
I cannot wait.
More giant robots versus giant monsters is always a good thing.
Yeah.
There's
It's-
nothing wrong with this at all.
So I don't know. We're done, right? That's the podcast.
All right, that's the show, guys. Let's
Yeah, that's
let's
pretty
all
good.
head out.
Bye.
That was the best news of the week, that's for sure.
Man, I'm emphatically meh on that movie. It was okay.
You shut your whore mouth, Chris.
Hey, there's a real
Ryan-
shitty movie out right
Ryan-
now, though.
Ryan looks like he's gonna kill you.
Pacific
gonna
Rim is
explode.
fucking awesome.
Speaking of movies with giant robots, Transformers 4 is absolute shit according to everything I've seen.
Duh.
Was there
course it
ever
is.
any doubt at all?
It's currently sitting at 18% on Rotten Tomatoes, yet it's somehow made like almost $100 million. So
Well, of
I've
course.
lost all faith in mankind.
One has nothing to do with the other.
Like I was honestly kind of intrigued because I wanted to see Optimus Prime riding a dinosaur, and then I'm like, oh wait, I could just turn on Beast Wars.
Yes.
It's still a giant summer blockbuster that kids are going to fucking force their parents to go see, and stuff's going to explode. So you can still eat a bag of popcorn and watch it just as long as you don't expect any story. You're going to see
Plus-
a bunch of shit explode and a bunch of robots that you can't tell the difference of
And
fight.
let me provide an
So,
update right now.
It is what it
Rot-
is. It's really
Rotten
good.
Tomatoes has Transformers 4 at a 17% as of our recording. 17.
you go see it in Omnimax 3D, whatever. It's like $25 to go see it in that.
Those are the prices are a little expensive.
That's why we don't go to the movies very often anymore. It's just like unless we're dying to see that movie.
I'm not going to the movies again until August 1st, I think it is.
August 1st.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Damn right.
Well, it'll probably be August 2nd, but whatever.
We need to see 22 Jump Street still. And then we'll probably be on break until Guardians.
And I've been waiting for Chef to come to Morgantown, but it hasn't, so I can't see Chef yet, even though I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, I'm waiting for 22 Jump Street to pop into our dollar theater.
I like the first one, so...
I wish we had a dollar theater. I haven't seen the first one.
The first one was great. I can't pay full, like, $8 matinee prices even for a comedy. There's no reason to see a comedy on the big screen, really. It's just as funny on Netflix.
That is also true.
I got into a discussion with someone about that very issue, and there is a reason to go see a comedy in a theater, but that's only if you're the type of person who likes laughing with a crowd.
Yeah,
it's
a
distinct, like, I wouldn't want to go and pay the money for it, but there is a specific, like, I want to go see Dumb and Dumber 2 in a theater because I loved the trailer when that was released, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think seeing that with a crowd is going to enhance the experience, I guess.
Oh, it's bad. I haven't even wanted to watch the trailer on that yet. Like, I so don't care. I think that's a sequel that's 10 years too late.
Well, they tried that sequel, Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, so the younger versions of them.
I think that just turned me off to any sort of sequel that might have happened.
And I watched about half an hour of that, like, basically one time on accident, just flipping channels. The one thing I will say about that movie is the kid that plays the younger Jim Carrey was fucking amazing. Because that kid can act his ass off. He looks like he stole some of Jim Carrey's DNA. Like, that kid is creepy like him. But yeah, it wasn't a good movie. But yeah, he's creepy.
Let's see. What are we missing in the chat room? Draftsman said, "Happy birthday, Ryan, you kaiju-loving motherfucker."
He's a kaiju fanboy.
The sheep people just need a cool, dark place to sit in a hot summer day, is what Draftsman said in reference to some of these movies.
That's true. That'll put $50 million in Transformers' pocket.
Anthony
just
stole
air conditioning.
Scotty Too Hottie says Anthony stole my line. Tell him to shut his whore mouth.
That's right. Pacific Rim is fucking awesome, Chris. If you don't like Pacific Rim, you don't like fun. Like, quite literally, you don't like fun. Because that's what that movie is. It
was an okay movie. It wasn't great. It was okay.
I didn't say it was great. It was fun.
Everyone's overhyped it so much, I think is part of the problem. I was like, oh my god, it's so good, it's so good. Then when I finally watched it, I was like, meh.
It knew exactly what it was. Like, that's why I liked it so much, is because it knew exactly what it was.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro did not put any pretension in that script. It wasn't trying to be anything but a movie where giant robots punch giant monsters.
Yeah,
that's it.
I have a couple. Well, they used to be my friends. They're not my friends anymore, obviously. But I had a couple people I knew once tell me that they didn't like it because they didn't think the story or the characters were very strong. And I was like, did you go into the movie expecting Schindler's fucking List? Like, were you expecting there to be an Oscar nomination performance from someone who's trying to get refugees away from these giant monsters? No! Giant robots punch giant monsters equals great fun movie that is great for everyone that no one should not watch.
Yeah, sadly, people can't see directors doing different things. And if you expect Pan's Labyrinth every time you go to a Guillermo del Toro movie, you're going to be disappointed. Because he wasn't making a new Pan's Labyrinth with robots. He was making his version of a Michael Bay, Jerry Bruckheimer shit blows up summer blockbuster film. And that's exactly what he made, and it was fucking perfect.
Yeah.
On top of that, though, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark is a Guillermo del Toro movie.
That was a remake of a TV film. I give him a pass on that one.
That one fucking sucked.
Yeah, it wasn't good. But it was a remake of a TV movie. How much can you really do with that?
That's true. But still, he should have just left that one alone. Like, no.
Yeah.
Meh.
I'll beat you to death with a slab of bacon, Chris.
bacon. Death by
That way you'll
bacon.
drool as you die.
No, if we're gonna kill Chris with bacon, we got to do the bacon log.
The bacon explosion.
The bacon explosion. Yeah, there you go.
Go Google that if you guys haven't seen it before. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
I need
That thing
I need
has made it on the show, what, 4
Chris.
times now?
Probably. Should
The
I
probably
need a
ask him to
creepy
drink
picture
me.
of Chris for Photoshop reasons.
Why don't you just go on Facebook? I'm sure there's one there somewhere.
The conversation has drifted away from Pacific Rim news for more than 30 seconds, so I'm going to go ahead and bring us back into the fold.
Do it, Ryan. Do it.
Have you guys read the Pacific Rim Year Zero prequel comic?
I have not.
It's,
No.
No, I need to
Just
get
added it to my Amazon wish list because it came and went, and I don't think it was actually even ordered at my LCS, sadly, so I never saw it there.
I was happy enough to stumble upon it at my local comic store, Third Coast Comics in Chicago, by the way. Give them a little plug. And I scooped it up, and I read it like 3 times in a row. It's very, very well done. You have to have liked the movie and want to know a little bit more about what happened before the movie starts. But it's a really cool story about how the Jaeger program got started and kind of told in a style similar to the World War Z books, where it's, you know, someone going and getting testimonials from all of these different people and kind of putting the story together from different people's perspectives. So the fact that they're going back to the announcement about Pacific Rim 2, the fact that they're going to continue the comic is actually really exciting because they've established that they can do a really solid giant robot fighting alien monster comic series. So I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
I was gonna pick it up, but like the only version that I could find was like $35 at my comic shop. I'm like, I love Pacific Rim. I don't have that.
Well, if you want, go on Comixology right now. It's $19.99, which is not too bad for 104 pages.
No, that's not bad.
That's a good sized book. Or
Yeah.
you know, watch for one of their sales when they do their trades on sale. Comixology every once in a while. You know, you might be able to get it for 75 or 75% or half off.
Yep.
I can also let you borrow it, Naki. I'm more than happy to lend it out.
We could do a trade. I'll give you Chew. You give me Pacific Rim.
But the problem is,
And-
it back like within 2 or 3 days, so he could read it again. So
right
yeah,
now, you can get it on Amazon for $14.12.
That's not bad at all. The problem is that Ryan and I live. Technically, it should only be like 20 minutes away from each other, but in actuality, with Chicago traffic, it's about an hour and a half away from each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depending on when you drive it.
there is a thing called
it
the
doesn't-
U.S. Postal Service.
That's also true, but it literally doesn't matter what time I drive. It will take me like yesterday. I left your guys' place at what 11:30. I got home at 12:45. So
Good gravy.
Dang.
it does not matter when I drive. It's always an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, part of that's because Chicago only ever has 2 seasons, winter and construction. So
Basically.
Yep.
You just described most of West Virginia.
yeah.
No joke. But I guess I'll revert back to doing some news now. Because again, like I said, slow news week, guys. Sorry.
I mean, I can keep talking about Pacific Rim if we want.
Well,
Go
we'll
ahead.
leave that as our transition between news stories. We'll let you have your Pacific Rim talk. Roberto Orchid was talking about Star Trek 3 in a podcast. He's going to be writing/directing it. And he said that finally we're going out into space in the 3rd movie. It won't be 2 origin movies. We'll finally be in the 5-year mission in the middle of space, being honest-to-God Star Trek. So, my take on this, about fucking time.
I don't care anymore.
I fucking loathed the 2nd Star Trek reboot movie.
I literally don't even care anymore. I tried watching because Into Darkness is now on Netflix. I'm like, all right.
Shit, don't do it.
Well, no. Here's the thing: is I'm like, all right. You know what? I'm paying for Netflix. I might as well fucking try this movie. I got about 30 minutes in and I turned it off. I'm like, no.
Wow.
No.
I guess I'm the only one that likes the J.J. Abrams Star Treks. I fucking love them.
The
No.
first one is good.
Boyfriend
The
loves them.
second one, not good.
I love the second one.
Boyfriend loved it.
If you love
I
the
just-
second one, you should go home and watch Wrath of Khan, and you'll see that that's a much better movie versus this one that pretends
Oh, yeah.
to be Wrath of Khan, but then is like, oh no, we're not doing any homage to Wrath of Khan.
We're
Yeah.
not giving. Why is everybody a white guy in space?
I really.
Oh, come on. If you'd watched more than 30 minutes, you would have known that they introduced the black people in space in the second film.
Yes.
They made it to the Klingon planet, and honestly, the Klingons look fucking badass in J.J. Abrams' world. Those face fucking helmets were fucking cool looking.
So
I liked it. I thought it was a fun movie.
I like elements of both the first and second one. I think J.J. Abrams very clearly showed in both those movies that he wants to make Star Wars movies, not Star Trek movies. He wants to make fun, action-filled romps that, you're caught up in the fantasy and the characters, and Star Trek has that. But Star Trek also has and has had for many, many years now a dedication to science and plausibility for the most part.
And the optimism of mankind in space is Star
And the
Trek.
optimism of mankind in space. And those elements of the Star Trek story do not come through in Abrams' films. And that's not a knock against them. It's just one of those things, like, it's a different interpretation.
It doesn't come through.
That's
They're
true.
not there.
I'll
Yeah.
give you that.
So I like elements. I really like, I love a lot of the design. I love a lot of the visuals of how I love how the Enterprise looks. I love how the
Love the
interior
casting.
look. The casting is great. The costumes are great.
Fucking Admiral RoboCop. That was some
Yeah.
good shit.
Man, Carl Urban. I don't want to say Keith Urban. That's a country singer. Carl Urban.
Yeah. Carl Urban.
I'm still convinced that at some point he performed some form of black magic to raise the spirit of DeForest Kelley and consume
Seems
its
like
power because
Yeah.
he's amazing as McCoy.
But
and I really like the
It's only
chemistry.
him and Zachary Quinto. They're the only ones that are really doing the same character. Like, everybody else is doing kind of a version, but those two, like, have inhabited the souls of the characters from the previous actors.
I do want to let you know, Anthony, you're not alone. Steven, Big Papa John Drew, has enjoyed both the Star Trek reboots as well.
Ha-ha!
Chris
See?
Hansen, he said
Me
he
and one
also...
flip-top head Canadian. All right.
Chris Hansen said he liked both reboot films when they were called Wrath of Khan. And then Neil has said he watched Wrath of Khan right after Into Darkness and then cried a little.
See, my biggest problem with the casting was Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan.
No, he's not Khan. Remember, J.J. Abrams told us that for years before the movie came out.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan, that bothered me, like, on many levels. Like, I know he was just hired because it's Benedict Cumberbatch and, butts, whatever. But there's just so many things wrong with him being Khan to me. Like,
That's it. And
he
I
looks
like
like
how
a
he played
fucking
the
otter.
character.
First off, he looks like an otter. Second off, he's not Asian. Third off, he's an otter.
It was disappointing to have a Khan whose chest was not made out of rich Corinthian leather.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what Benedict Cumberbatch is not is, like, world-renowned sexy. He's got
No.
a very, a solid geek trend of women that think he's hot, but fucking Ricardo Montalban, ooh, sex.
Yeah, I mean, it's Ricardo Montalban.
Ric-
Come on.
Ricardo
You weren't sure if
Montalban-
Khan caught Kirk, if he was actually going to fight him or fuck him, because that man was just sexy.
Ricardo Montalban oozed sex in the Naked Gun films.
It's
Yep.
true. It's
The man was
true.
amazing. The man was amazing.
Yeah.
So Stevens brought up a good point here about our bitching in Star Trek. He goes, I think that people need to realize the franchise is dead and that this is a reboot. It needs to be different. It's like how TNG was quite different than the original series. Changes had to happen. Yeah, but it was still faithful to the spirit of Star Trek when that happened. We didn't just be like, oh, explosions in space, war, kill, death, destroy. No
That's
good
true.
stuff happened.
All the other previous updates, original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, it all kept kind of more in line with the original Gene Roddenberry view of science exploration and, like the expansion of humanity with hopefully us not being assholes. And J.J. Abrams has basically made 2 action films that he filled with Star Trek characters.
Now, I will give Steven a point here to say that Deep Space Nine didn't get good until it became kind of a war or morality play or whatever when the Dominion invasion happened, and then there were questions of morality associated with things that Sisko did. There's one episode of Deep Space Nine where he grapples with the moral issues of tricking the Romulans into joining the war, and whether he should do it or not. And it's fantastic.
Nice.
And that's because of Ron Moore, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, and Stephen makes a really good point. I mean, it is a reboot. It does have to be different to an extent, and there are people who love those movies, and there's a whole new generation of fans who are like, that's going to be their entrance into Star Trek.
Yep. And in their head, when they think of Captain Kirk, they're going to think of Chris Pine and not William Shatner.
And I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing, but I will say that I'm super happy all of Star Trek is on Netflix, so that any kid who's like, man, I really love those movies, I want to go back and watch the old stuff, can easily access all that old stuff and kind of see where the roots are and see what the differences are, and form.
No joke. When I went and saw Into Darkness with my girlfriend, we were sitting there. I was like, man, Wrath of Khan's so much better. And she's like, I haven't seen it. Is it good? And I go, yeah, it's the real story of Khan. And so we went home and watched Wrath of Khan. And she's like, holy crap, that's better than this movie. I was like, I know, right?
Yeah, I got the wife to watch it, and even she enjoyed it. And she's not huge on usually the type of sci-fi that I like. She's more of a Sharknado fan. But yeah, she enjoyed Wrath of Khan.
And Chris is talking about Star Trek Into Darkness. Chris Hansen, he goes, Khan Noonien Soon is the most dangerous man I've ever encountered, attributed to Old Spock, that quote. And then Chris's response, wait, that's Khan? Whitey McWhiterson? His name is Khan? But he's so white!
That's true. They did make Cumberbatch even more pale to show that he'd been in space in a popsicle for a while. Like, they actually took what little pigment he has from walking the streets of London for Sherlock and, like, sucked it out of him.
Well, and they also cured death.
Damn near. The boy was damn near translucent.
Yeah. This movie, if you ever want to see some of the best criticisms of it, there's that web series. It's called How It Should Have Ended. The one for Star Trek Into Darkness is brilliant because they're like, oh, we're going off on our mission. Like, oh, there's no reason to do that. We have these super space transporters you guys invented in the first one that transport you across the galaxy. And he goes, oh, well, I guess we should go out there and defend Starfleet. Defend Starfleet? You guys cured death. We don't need to do that. And he holds up a vial of Khan's magic blood. And they bring in Han Solo and shoot him, kill him, and bring him back to life.
That's awesome.
It's fantastic.
I did like. I just want to point out just one of the things that I did really enjoy about the film is it was super corny, and I loved it anyway. I loved how they switched Spock and Kirk.
Yeah.
From the original Wrath of Khan, like it was I thought it was kind of an interesting way to do an homage, and I really liked that 20 minutes of the movie a lot.
See, for me, that struck them of more trying to be like, oh, we're just inspired by Wrath of Khan, but we're not really Wrath of Khan because you see, we killed Captain Kirk instead of Spock.
I think it worked though because of the way, if you look at the script from the first one and what they'd had everything that had led up to that situation, I think it worked really well for the writers. By comparison, with the original Wrath of Khan, where you had the whole series of Spock and Kirk becoming friends and leading up to that, wicked fucking death scene that's just amazing. And this one, it was in a much shorter amount of time between the two characters, but I think they wrote it extremely well for what leads up to that scene happening and Kirk making that sacrifice.
That's fair.
Yeah, whether you like that movie or not, I think that part at least was written extremely well. And like Ryan said, if a lot of people complain that the old Star Trek, especially the older Star Trek, is really boring. If you really like action films, if you're much more of a Star Wars type fan, a lot of the Star Trek political stuff, the intrigue, a lot of that can be boring to people depending on what type of sci-fi you like. So that just makes me think that fucking now that JJ is actually doing a Star Wars film, if he can make Star Trek as fun as Star Wars, then Star Wars should be fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or he's Jar Jar Abrams forever. He better not fuck it up.
Jar Jar Abrams.
I mean, there's no pressure on him or anything. I mean, it's just Star Wars.
Yeah, that boy's got a gun at the back of his head right now. Whoa.
I mean, he honestly, there's no winning for him. Part of me feels kind of bad for him because there's no winning for him. There's going to be people that hate it, no matter
of course.
what. There's going to be people that hate it.
I also think that it's a win-win situation. If no matter what, someone's going to hate it, but no matter what, if he completes the next Star Wars film basically without George Lucas, so no one can blame Lucas for it, he can say, "Hey, I made my Star Wars." That puts him, on a very short list of directors that is, there's some amazing names on that list and some people that have turned out some good films. Some of them had more influence than George Lucas than others did, but I mean, either way, he gets to join a canon of people that's a very limited crew, that's a very awesome fucking crew of directors.
Yeah.
That is also true. I think I feel like he just owns too much of not owns, but is too much of the sci-fi franchise world right now, I think, though, too.
So you're waiting to see J.J. Abrams redo a Western?
He doesn't have to redo anything. He can just, fucking do something.
Can you grime up a lens flare?
Lightsaber lens flare, I'm calling it.
You can have lens flares come off of release shiny pistols.
I guess
J.J.
so,
Abrams could do the Gunslinger series.
But there's one thing that can't have lens flare: the reflection of the Millennium Falcon, because it's a rusty hunk of junk.
Mm-hmm.
No lens
He's gonna
flare.
have Chewie polish one of the satellite dishes.
Yeah.
There's going to be lens flare on the Millennium Falcon. It's going to happen.
No, you shut your whore mouth.
There'll be scenes of Chewie Windexing the cockpit glass.
Sorry, that was inappropriate.
So that it'll fucking have a lens flare off of it. Because they gotta clean the glass because it's too dirty.
Chris in the chat room said J.J. Abrams' next film is a reboot of Gunsmoke.
I would pay to see that before I would pay to see fucking TMNT. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now you're making me sad again, too.
Oh, God. Has anybody else seen... Okay, besides the Shredder image that we posted last week, did anybody see some of the Turtle images they posted?
No, I'm avoiding that movie, period, so I don't cry.
Okay,
I watched
so
the new trailer, the rocket shooting, returning sword blades. Yeah, fuck that movie.
Yeah, we got that. Donatello now has all sorts of scientific equipment coming off of his head, but it doesn't really make any sense because they're like little magnifying glasses on his eyes, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, he's basically wearing a headset that looks like the troll goggles from Hellboy 2.
Yeah,
it's to identify Donatello as
guys, why are you guys doing this to yourself? Why are you punishing yourselves by looking at this?
No, someone posted it, or someone sent it to me, and they're like, "Here, you'll find this funny." And I'm like, "No, I find this angering."
Okay, that sounds like something I would have done just to piss you off, actually.
Which is funny because all of this is going to go on also later today in the next element because me and Colin are doing our remake reboot cast. So we're going to talk about basically every franchise that's been remade, rebooted, all the ones that are coming. They're talking about redoing It. Fucking Stephen King's It. Who's the actor that has the balls to step into the Pennywise makeup and think they can do a better job than Tim fucking Curry?
Tim Curry.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch is Pennywise the Clown.
Oh, God.
Take just a single second of your life to imagine Benedict Cumberbatch in any clown makeup and tell me that you haven't peed your pants just a little bit.
That would be a little scary.
Chris brought up a good way.
Talking about how we all float down here.
Chris Hansen brought up a good way in the chat room of how to enjoy the TMNT trailer. He goes, I feel like when I close my eyes and listen to only the sound, it actually wasn't that bad.
Just the sound. Yeah. If you don't, actually no, because the sound still offends me. Even the sound offends me. Because when Leonardo jumps off that water tower and his 300 to 400 pound bulk fucking slams on the concrete and breaks the bricks under his feet in front of April O'Neil, that tells me he's not a fucking ninja.
Yeah, he's not a fucking ninja.
He's a fucking 400 pound Hulk with a fucking shell on his back.
Leo Smash!
Yeah, Leo Smash. They're fucking Hulks. They're 400 pound samurai Hulks. They're not ninjas.
This is the opposite of ninja.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you crush brick when you land on it, you are not a motherfucking ninja.
Let's make this completely opposite of what it should actually be. Go.
Let's make it as big and just loud as we can.
Let's add some explosions, guys. Some gunfire. Yes.
Michael Bay explosions, boom.
So,
the image of that suit, though, with the sword shooting out of Shredder's arms, flying around the room, and then returning to the suit. That is that's got to be the biggest crock of bullshit I've ever seen in my life.
we were in my kids in the room that I work in the kids room. We have the first 5 episodes of the 1987 Ninja Turtles animated series,
Awesome.
which the kids love. They watch it all the time, which means I get to watch it all the time, which I'm totally fine with. But shit, what was I going with this? The cold medicine, it's getting to me. No, there's a reason I brought this up. What was I going to say?
I have no idea.
I totally lost it.
You're with the kiddies, you're watching the Ninja Turtles episodes, and go. I tried.
So what we've learned here is that Naki can't remember the story she was telling as she was telling it, and that's awesome.
As she was telling it. See, that's what happens when your train of thought has a train wreck.
Explosions.
She had a big Michael Bay explosion.
Now I remember. So the Foot Clan in the original 1987 series. Now I don't think this was true towards the comics because I know that they kiddified it for the series. But the Foot Clan was all robots. Now I don't know if they're doing that.
In the original comics, they were people. It was a joke based on Marvel's The Hand Ninja Clan. So Eastman and Laird's is a joke called theirs The Foot. But they were real humans that Leo lopped fucking heads off and Raphael stabbed.
That's
they
right.
They were actual people that they were killing.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
the original Turtles kids, the original all red headbanded turtles in the comics, if you go back and read the old school shit, they killed ninjas all day, every fucking day.
Yep, and there wasn't a Shredder in the background going, "Them turtles, get them turtles."
Nope, it was just people in purple pajamas running from ninjas killing them.
Well, in the TV series, they were robots because it was kiddified, and I think for this reboot is that the Foot Clan is back to robots.
It's
Really?
Michael Bay, probably.
It's Michael Bay, and we had a lot more gunfire and explosions, so I wouldn't be surprised if we're getting robot Foot Clan again.
So, continuing back on that robot theme, Chris is asking the chat room, he goes, but hey, robot Shredder means no whitewash Shredder, hopefully, right? Right?
Yes, I don't know about that, because I think, what's his name, the guy from Prison Break is still listed as Shredder.
He's Shredder.
I think it's possible that there's multiple Shredders in, the corporation or whatever.
But yeah, it's still we don't have no Amato Yoshi and that storyline. There's no way we can have that storyline with Whitewash Shredder.
It's kind of cool how they're using all the motion capture and stuff on set to do the bodies, but I don't know.
Because they could make them look a lot cooler, but God, why did they give them noses? They look like Shrek. They're Shrek with turtle shells.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Shreks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, if you watch the current series, each turtle has a different they have each the colored bands, but each turtle has a very different facial facial thing to keep them separated. Like Michelangelo has freckles, Donatello has a tooth gap, Raphael, I think Raphael has a scar, and Leo has an unblemished face. I guess is the only way you could say it. But I mean, that I thought was an interesting way to distinguish the turtles if they wanted to go back to the all red bands.
But did they add those facial tics and then actually go back to the all red bands, or did they?
No, they didn't. They kept the colors, but it's a kids show, so I give the kids show far more leniency than I do this fucking Michael Bay diarrhea shit that's coming. So.
Well, the problem is, with the kids show, we give it more leeway because they've rebooted the Turtles cartoon so many times, and it becomes kind of an expected thing. It's like Superman, Batman, Spider-Man movie franchises. We know they're going to do another Turtles. And 10 years from now, there's going to be another Turtles.
Well,
the movies we were expecting more. I think that's our problem.
that's the lie with the TV series because I'm sorry, but Venus de Milo originated in a TV series, and that series just makes me cry.
She doesn't exist anymore, though.
Turtle boobs.
Turtle boobs. Yeah, for those who don't know, it was the female turtle, and apparently when they sat down at the writers' room, they couldn't think of a female artist from the Renaissance, so they named the character after an actual work of art instead of after an artist. Which that was what I found was the saddest part about that character, was they couldn't nail down one female artist from the Renaissance name.
Did they not have Google?
Apparently not. I mean, in all fairness, there's very few extremely, popular pieces of artwork done from that era that were done by female artists because there weren't many female artists being paid by patrons to make art. Art was something that men did at that time. But they do still exist.
Yeah.
It was just one of those, that was a series that made everybody die a little inside.
Looking in the chat room, Plusnakin, or I think a take on Snake Plissken, has never watched cartoon much, only enjoyed the movies. Chris Hansen said, in the cartoons, they all look different, but alike enough to be siblings. Eastman had one rule for the IDW Comics reboot, and all in caps, no Venus de Milo.
Nice.
He hated that character.
Everybody did.
Yeah.
I think even us, they were like, well, we got to make a female turtle for the little girls, and all of us little girls went, no.
Bad.
Yeah, that was one of those, trying to gender wash part of a story, and I think that was one of the biggest failures ever.
According to Chris, he said they could do whatever they wanted with anything from the history of the Turtles, but not that.
Nice.
Well,
That's
it's sort
hilarious.
of like if you introduce a character like Venus de Milo, doesn't that sort of downplay characters like April O'Neil?
Yes.
Yep.
April, I don't think April was even in that series, was
And
she?
if you want to reach way back, Irma as well.
Aw,
Nice.
Irma.
Good pull.
Yeah, well, good Google.
I need to go watch my old school VHS and Turtles tapes today. That's what I need to do.
I loved Irma. Now I want to cosplay as Irma.
You should do it.
Do you guys know, like, legit, the lesson that I learned, the lesson I remember taking away most from the original Ninja Turtles cartoon is that, and this may be skewed by time, so correct me if I'm wrong, but if I remember correctly, Irma really dug Donatello.
As everybody should.
That taught me that brains matter. It's important to be smart. Chicks will dig you if you're smart.
That is the most important life lesson that you just learned.
Nice.
Because
Chris in the chat room, he said April never showed up on that show, and Irma is in the new cartoon.
Nice.
So I do need to check out the new one.
It's actually pretty decent. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, Donnie was always my guy. When I actually started martial arts training, my chosen weapon that I choose to learn was the bow staff.
Nice.
I'm a Leo girl.
So I realized it's
Actually,
now
yeah,
like
the only one that I got of the new ones sitting on my desk,
nice.
rockin' Donnie.
Nice. I got these on my desk because they're awesome.
Those aren't turtles.
But they're Arrow.
They are cool, but they're not turtles.
Yeah.
I have Finn's golden sword from Adventure Time.
I was expecting a Pacific Rim thing.
And the Adventure Time. Oh, those are all over my bed, actually.
There's so many jokes can be made right there, and I'm not going to. So just
your oh so understandable girlfriend. She's such a nice person.
She's got what does she have over? So we've got two shelves over our bed. I've got Pacific Rim, Kaiju, and Jaegers on my side, and she's got all of her like Okami memorabilia on her side.
I was gonna say, is her Sailor Moon stuff on that side? On her side?
No, her
Is
Sailor Moon.
is that the weird Japanese dog?
Yeah.
Okay.
From
I thought I knew that word, but I wasn't positive.
Yeah, it's from the PS2 video game. No, Naki, her Sailor Moon stuff is on the left side of the TV, opposite all of my Godzilla stuff, which is on the right side of the TV.
Gotcha.
touche.
It's
Okay,
wonderful.
so
Their
I'm looking
apartment
at-
is wonderful.
I'm looking at the clock right now. We're normally about 5 minutes away from closing right now, and I didn't toss to either Naki or Anthony for either news of the week. So did you guys have anything real quick you want to throw out there that we can stir the crowd up with?
I can do mine real fast. Josh Trank in an interview, I guess they're saying that the new Fantastic Four reboot is going to have that found footage feel. They were talking about earlier where a director can't change their style. Josh Trank did Chronicle. I love Chronicle. It's the most original found footage movie since VHS, and it was fucking amazing and well done. But the idea that just because Chronicle was a found footage movie, that they have to have the feel of found footage in a superhero film, I find ridiculous. Let the fucking kids stretch. Let them do something different. I think it might be the first time I really, really hate a Marvel film, as if there's found footage of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but it's not a real
That's a
Marvel film.
stupid idea. It's half a Marvel film.
Yeah, touche.
But yeah, they actually put whoever they talked to, who is it, Watts? President Emma Watts of Fox Production. It's Josh, so it can't not have that feel. Watts tells the Hollywood Reporter that's his talent and that's what he does. Really? Like, he's a director. If anybody doesn't think a director can stretch, look at Kevin Smith. Lots of people hate his films, but you can't look at Dogma and Mallrats and then tell me that the same person made Red State.
No, you can't.
It's fucking amazing how much he changed his style for one film, and now we're getting a horror film out of him in Tusk. Directors can stretch. They can learn. And Josh Trank is like 26, 27? He's a fucking child. I hate this guy. He was born in 1985.
He's
a little
born.
kid.
Okay, so he's 28.
28. Yeah, so he's a little kid. He did 5 episodes of The Kill Point. Off of that, he did Chronicle. From Chronicle, on his IMDb page, he's filming Fantastic Four, the rumored Fantastic Four sequel, and the untitled Star Wars standalone project. He's getting to do 3 gigantic blockbuster films, all because Chronicle was awesome. I don't think all 3 of those movies are going to be found footage films. He's a director. He can do something different. I mean, is anybody going to go see a Star Wars film that's found footage? The nerd world would lose their fucking mind.
I'm not going to go see a Fantastic Four film that's found footage.
I almost want to say that I won't, but simply because Michael B. Jordan's in it, I fucking love that kid. He's so good, and he was amazing in Chronicle with fucking Josh Trank. So we know they can work together and put good shit on film. And sadly, I haven't missed a Marvel film since Blade 1, so I have to go see this. I might regret it, but I'm going to go see it.
One Stephen Big Papa John Drew has photoshopped a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles picture just for our viewing and laughing pleasure, and let me share it with you right now. It's in the chat room. for those listening to the podcast, he has put my face under Michelangelo's bandana.
Look! It's just a mask. It's just a mask. It's okay. And you're still wearing your glasses underneath. That's the best part. Glasses underneath the bandana.
Kudos to you, Stephen. Well done. Well done, sir.
With the quickness.
What's the what?
Well, that was my news of the week. Naki, did you have anything?
My news of the week is that they revealed a new Doctor Who trailer. It is coming out on August 23rd, I believe the date is. Well,
Ouch.
basically, it looks like the Doctor is going back to being a badass, and there will be less kissing, which I will be so excited for. I'm sorry. The last season of Doctor Who was literally the worst thing to ever appear on TV, and I really didn't want to go back to it, but I'm just curious as to how the new Doctor is, so I'm gonna see it. But it looks like it's going to be back to the original science and what it was.
I saw the promo image. He does look like a badass.
He looks more like a badass. He looks more serious. It's less of this goofy Doctor and more of what the first Doctor was, with the seriousness, with the science, with everything that it originated from.
I really like that we have an older Doctor again.
I do too, but
and speaking of going back and watching things on Netflix, for those that don't know, besides the Doctors 9, 10, 11, they went back and added all the classic Who on Netflix Instant Queue as well. So you can quite literally go back and watch 60 years of Doctor Who on Netflix right now.
Yes, you can.
Whenever I think of doing that, all I can think of, and this is another deep cut for you guys, all I can think of is the episode of The Simpsons where Bart and Lisa each get $100, and Bart says he's going to get 100 tacos for $100, and then you see comic book guy waddling out with a wheelbarrow full of tacos going, "This should provide adequate sustenance for the Doctor Who marathon." I feel
Good
like
comic book guy, by the way. Very nice comic book guy.
Thank you. I wish I could say that it was intentionally good.
This should provide adequate sustenance.
So all I can think is, man, now that all that classic Who's on there, I'm going to have a taco party.
I'm in.
There you go. That's a way to spend a weekend. Doctor Who and tacos.
3 of the 12 to 20 people I will invite will understand the reference.
That's not a bad percentage. You know, there's a lot of geek stuff out there, so that's not a bad percentage.
But the most positive thing about this trailer was that Clara says, "I don't even know who you are anymore." That makes me happy because I hate Clara, so I don't care what happens to her. And
I'm so behind on Doctor Who, I don't know who Clara is.
Well, I'm not holding my breath. It's still Moffat running the show, and I fucking hate him with this passion of 1,000 suns. But it looks promising in the sense that we might go back to classic Who in the science and Angry Doctor, and yeah, that I'd be excited for.
I am, because Chris Eccleston is still my doctor. I started with number 9, and I like a badass post-war doctor wearing a leather trench coat that just wants to beat the shit out of people.
Fuck Doctor Who, I'll take Torchwood.
Yeah. Christopher Eccleston was my first doctor as well, but I claim David Tennant as my doctor.
Captain Jack Harkness.
I like Tennant. He was really good.
I like Tennant a lot. I wish we'd gotten one more season of Eccleston. Just one more.
Yeah, just one more season would have been great.
Well, look at it in the chat room right now. Neil has said new Doctor looks solid, and Mike has said he's in for it. He's in too.
Yeah, I need to go watch the trailer. All I saw was just a promo image, but even the promo image was fucking extremely well done. He looked like a badass.
So August 23rd is when Doctor Who comes back. I'm really hoping that we hit back to what it used to be. Before all the kissing. August 23rd. Yeah.
So by then you'll all seen Guardians of the Galaxy 5 times, and you'll need a break from it, and you can go watch something else. So you can
Guardians of the Galaxy comes out on my birthday, so yeah, that's a thing.
August 1st, baby.
So excited.
Rocket time.
I am off that weekend. It's going to be wonderful. The next weekend I'm off.
And now we all know that we get to look for the Nathan Fillion cameo.
Yes,
indeed. All right, so we should probably start wrapping things up because I'm looking at the time here and I'm like, oh crap, I know people have stuff to do. So real quickly, what are you guys getting into in the week ahead? And we'll start with the birthday boy himself.
Oh, man.
And what have you been getting into, I guess, too, is the better statement.
So let me run down. These are the games that I played yesterday at my big bad board game birthday bash. I played Galactic Strike Force, which is by Greater Than Games, the guys who
I haven't gotten to play that yet. Is it good?
It's pretty good. If you like Sentinels of the Multiverse, you're probably going to like Galactic Strike Force. If you don't like Sentinels of the Multiverse, first of all, what's wrong? What's wrong? Let's talk. Tonight.
Why do you hate your life?
And second of all, there is enough different in it that you might enjoy it, but it does feel like it's the same team of guys. So it might be worth a shot if you are not a huge Sentinels of the Multiverse fan, just to give it a shot and see if some of the differences appeal to you more. But I like it a lot.
Quick question, Ryan. I've played the DC Deck Builder and I've played the Marvel Legendary Starter Kit. Mm-hmm. I haven't played Sentinels of the Multiverse. How does it compare to those two?
It's really not fair to compare them because they're completely different games. Sentinels of the Multiverse hoves a little bit closer to Legendary in that it's cooperative. You're teaming up against a villain, but there's no deck building. You have a single hero with a fixed deck, and you're using their powers and abilities in conjunction with the other players. I prefer Sentinels to Legendary. I finally got to play Legendary. I prefer Sentinels, but I need to give Legendary a few more plays before I can really definitively be like, here's why I like it better. But I also played, let's see, I played Bang Dice. Bang is a hidden role card game that's a pretty big classic in gaming communities. The dice game I like better. It reminds me a lot of games like King of Tokyo or Zombie Dice, where you're kind of pushing your luck in order to get an effect. Very fun, good party game. We played One Night Werewolf, which is a streamlined version of Are You a Werewolf or Mafia. That's fantastic. Got to play a couple turns of a great big tactical war game called Kemet, which is amazing, and it's a gorgeous game. I won't go too deep into it, but it's ancient Egypt, it's gods and monsters, and I had a dude on a giant scorpion running around killing everything. It was amazing. And then finally I played Android Netrunner, which is my current favorite card game of all time. It's Matt Gibson Steampunk Cyberpunk at its finest, and we played a buttload of it, and it was a ton of fun. What else? I finished Clone Wars on Netflix. Amazing. It single-handedly rejuvenated my interest in Star Wars. To that end, I ended up picking up all of Wave 4 of the X-Wing miniatures game.
Ooh, nice.
Notes to the table. And Jeanette is actually going to be picking up everything from our pull box on the way home. So we've got hopefully some more Miss Marvel, some more Captain Marvel, the New Warriors, She-Hulk, the new Hulk series, Magneto, and Nightcrawler. I think
Marvel
The New Warriors series is awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of a slow start for me, but I've been enjoying where it's been going so far. So I'm curious to see where they take it. I've been really, really liking both the new She-Hulk and the new Miss Marvel, though. Like, really
They're
solid
both
stuff.
fantastic.
Oh, and the new Iron Fist. I'm reading the new Iron Fist, and that's amazing. He punches guys.
That's the Carrie Andrews one, right?
I believe so, yeah.
The artwork on that is fucking spectacular.
Yeah. It's real good.
I don't have anything that exciting, man. I played Watch Dogs, and that's really about it for excitement.
I think that's been what you've been into the last 3 weeks, and you
Guys,
keep complaining about the game. You're like, I played Watch Dogs.
The side quests are fantastic. That's all I'm doing right now is side quests.
You know what you are, Chris? You're fucking Captain Meh.
Captain Meh? I'll take
Captain
it.
Meh.
Someone designed me a logo. It sounds like a South Park character.
I'm pretty positive
No
that
shit.
Steven just did.
That's not a logo for Captain
And it's
Meh.
already done.
I'll go. If Chris is done.
You can
with
go
his
ahead. I don't really have much. I haven't done much insane.
So yesterday at Ryan's party, I played Marrying Mr. Darcy, which, if you're a Pride and Prejudice fan, the game is amazing. I haven't actually read Pride and Prejudice since high school. I haven't seen any of the movies, but that game is just amazing. And
I'm already disappointed. I thought it was a game based on Married with Children.
what was pointed out to us is that
God damn it, Sockman.
Marcy Darcy, motherfucker. Marcy Darcy.
at the table we were sitting at, Ryan was at the opposite side of the room with my boyfriend and one of our friends whose girlfriend we were playing with, and every time we were talking about marriage, every man got this look on their face
You shouldn't
of
threaten people
fear
with commitment. It's not nice.
and oh, it was wonderful. No, it was hysterical. Anyways, that game was awesome. On top of that, I am reading Changes of the Dresden Files universe. I cannot handle this book. I am just like, every time I read a chapter, I'm just like, why am I doing this to myself? I am so emotionally attached to these characters, and just bad things are happening. I picked up Animal Crossing for the Nintendo DS, so I've been playing New Leaf. I have been, what have I been watching? What was I watching?
Porn.
No, I was actually watching the new
Arrow.
episodes of
You're supposed to be watching Arrow.
My Little Pony, which is totally not Arrow at all.
What the fuck?
What? My Little Pony.
Arrow!
Yeah, you have to watch 3 episodes of Arrow before you can watch an episode of My Little Pony. 3-to-1 ratio.
No.
Work your way through it.
Ryan, you're muted. I hear you talking.
Knock-
Or I
knock-
see you
there-
talking.
there's Man Candy and Arrow for you at the very least too, so you gotta watch it.
That ratio, Bachman, is literally horseshit.
I'm 7 episodes
Okay.
into Arrow, and I'm
Alright.
3 episodes into My Little Pony. Come on.
Yeah, so quit watching My Little Pony and go watch Arrow. 'Cause it's
Well,
awesome.
Arrow starts again on October 6th, so you better get caught up by then.
I've got time.
Yeah, it's gonna be October 5th, and she's like on episode
Uh-huh.
9 of season 1.
Yep.
I'm calling it now.
Probably. What else? I think that was it. I think I had something else, and now I can't remember it. It's kind of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all over again. Go, Anthony, go.
Alright, I finished the first season of Green Lantern on Netflix and got back into the Clone Wars. I'm still only like halfway through the first season of that, so I've got tons of awesome Star Wars shit to watch, so I'm loving that show.
So good. It gets so good.
Yep, and I'm waiting for my next paycheck. The state of Idaho's giving us a little tiny bonus check, so I'm thinking part of that I'm going to actually be able to buy my graphic novel, the Stephen Zahn Star Wars trilogy that I have sitting in my cart on Amazon for the last like month and a half. It's the one item in my cart. It's just sitting there.
It's
I'm
so
waiting
good too.
Me to have the allowance to afford it. So yeah, so I'll be getting that. Still, coloring geek 4 or 5 days a week, and then in my little bit of off time I'm giving myself, I'm playing WildStar. We actually had a blast last night. My wife and my friend and his wife all went to the Boise Music Fest while I was home coloring, and when they came over last night, Marv brought his laptop. Our other 2 buddies in town were at their houses on WildStar. So Marv brought his laptop into my office, and the 4 of us went on a little mini adventure, kind of like a mini dungeon in WildStar with the 4 of us all playing at the same time. Fucking had a blast. That game is so much fun. Anybody that's ever played an MMO, it's worth trying WildStar at least for like a trial period just to check out how much fun it is and the comedy they put in it. Because some of the characters are just fucking ridiculous. Good stuff.
Cool. So I think we've just got everyone hit up there. So that's going to wrap up the show for this. Let me look in the chat room real quick and see what people are saying. Holy crap, I missed a lot. Sorry about that, guys. Lots of stuff about the Ninth Doctor. Yeah, okay. Also, Chris has said he's seen the leaked Flash pilot and that it was wonderful. I refuse to watch it, but I want to watch the real show when it comes out.
Yeah, that show's going to be awesome.
Another
remake.
I don't pirate anymore, guys. I can't do it. I don't have the energy.
Eyes, he's just lazy.
If I was
Yeah.
lazy, I'd pirate it instead of waiting.
Tomato.
I'm running the same. I've been in that boat, Chris, for like the last 6 years of my life. Like it's just there's so much shit to watch legitimately now that I could pirate something and then deal with all of the like. Is it their good quality? Is it the right one? Did I just download a porn virus?
Yeah.
No, I can just watch it on Netflix right now.
But who downloads porn anymore? You can just stream it.
Yeah, there's no reason to download porn.
I can say honestly that I am one of a small set of people that have accidentally downloaded porn because it was labeled as something else on a BitTorrent site.
Nice.
No, I've done that.
So as we're wrapping up, Draftsman wants to let everyone know 14 minutes in the soccer game, and the score is 0-0, Mexico, Netherlands.
Woo!
You know why? Because soccer is fucking
Soccer!
boring.
Soccer talk on ATG, yeah!
Yeah, Ryan, I've got 274 things in my Netflix instant queue. I don't need to pirate anything.
Hey, no,
Yeah,
I have enough TV shows on there to keep me busy for the next 5 years. And by then, I'm pretty sure a couple more things will come out.
Just a few.
just a bit. So, guys, looking at the time, we really do need to wrap up because I have to run as well. A big thank you for the birthday lad himself, one Ryan, for joining us today. Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you.
You're old.
Congrats on hitting a
Hang on, guys.
milestone. Feel free to come heckle Naki when she turns the big 3-0.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
got a year.
Oh,
You got
definitely,
a
yeah.
year, bitches. I turned 29 this year.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's the last birthday you'll enjoy.
Ah! There you go. A big thank you to everyone we had in the Peanut Gallery this week, aka the chat room. It's been awesome having you all in there. Sorry we didn't get to talk about all of your comments as they came in because sometimes we just
There actually was a lot this time.
Yes, there was. So big thank you, and we hope to see you guys again every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Mountain, 8 a.m. Pacific when we record ATGN All Things Good Nerdy podcast over at live.atgnpodcast.com. And don't forget to check out all the other great shows in the Gonna Geek Network over at GonnaGeekNetwork.com. We've got a show to suit pretty much any of your tastes.
And the spiffy new forums!
And new forums for you to go and chat about the shows and to give us hate messages if you want, because we'll be posting all of the shows in the forums as well. So if we said something you absolutely hate on this episode, go to the forums, leave a comment in there, and we'll get it on the next show.
Bring it on.
Or we'll just mock you mercilessly. One of the two.
Yep.
I haven't asked.
Mock.
So, any final closing thoughts before we wrap up, guys?
Mock.
I'm going to go with... and I'm going to end with... Yeah. So, thanks for joining us, guys, and we will see you next week. Bye.